We have with us today Dr. Anna Fong. She's an IP strategist from IP Value Lab. Now, Dr. Anna Fong, do share with us a little bit about yourself and what made you choose this career in IP.
So actually, I started off as an engineer. So I have a background in, I have a bachelor degree in engineering. So to be more specific, it's actually microwave engineering. So I worked in an R&D field as an engineer for many years before I switched to IP.
Right.
But as I continue on with my engineering journey, I realized that actually my field is very niche. So there are not much career options for me if let's say I do not work in this particular field. So I've decided that why don't I combine my knowledge in technology with something that I also like as well, which is actually law. So I thought, okay, IP is actually quite a good bridge between engineering and legal knowledge, right? So I've chosen then to do a PhD in IP in that sense. So after my PhD, and I think I'm quite lucky in the sense that I get some networking during my PhD conference, and then I get to know some of the people in this field. So they thought that, okay, maybe since you have a PhD in this area, why don't you join our company? So that's how I gain more experience in IP. So I think I have been quite blessed in such a way that I've been given the opportunity once I made this decision. So and so far so good. IP has been something that I really like and really have passion in. Yeah.
Wow, fantastic. So as an IP strategist, what are some of your advice to SMEs and business owners whenever they are looking at scaling their business? What are some of the key priorities that they should take note of?
I think for a start, right, especially for staff, what's more important is that you have to be informed. So you must have the basic knowledge of what IP is. So I think my company, Value Lab, is doing quite well in this sense because recently they have published some very interactive business guide. So companies can actually go to the website to download some of these business guides. And with this basic knowledge, I think what is more important for SMEs and staff is that you need to keep a logbook of what actually what are the assets, intangible assets your company has. So once you have a logbook, then you keep periodically reviewing and checking what are some of the valuable things that align with your business. So then you can decide very strategically which one you should register for. So I wouldn't advise companies to register anything that they have because actually this will be quite expensive.
Yes.
Like for example, filing for patents, it can take like more than 10K to get a patent. So it's actually very expensive. So especially for startups and SMEs where the dollar sign is very important, that you have to manage the cost, right? So I wouldn't expect you to register anything, but you keep a logbook and then you can. I mean, IP Value Lab usually give very affordable advice at the start to decide which one is more important for your company. So you only invest in those assets that are important and align with your business that you can use it in the future. So in that case, you can actually control your cost, but at the same time, you get the necessary protection for yourself and your company.
I see. Usually for business owners, we only think about the P&L. That's the number one thing. The cost and then how much ROI I'm going to get when I spend on things like, even your services, right? So, what should come first? When you create your own product, your own whatever interesting service, technology or whatnot, should that be the number one thing that you should do to make sure that you patent it, to make sure that it is protected before you even scale? Or it should be the other way around, get enough funding first, grow your business to a certain stage, then you do that. What should be the correct step for us?
I think the correct step is to plan early. Yeah, so you should know what you have, and then you have a business plan to know where you're going, where you're heading, and which area that you're going to sell, and so on. So once you have that ready, then I think it's nothing better than talking to someone who has this expertise in this area. Then just not to get into the very detailed filing to tell them this is what I want to register and so on, but just get an advice to say, okay, should I even register some of these IP? If you shouldn't, you should find someone that you're comfortable with, you can be honest with, and then they can give you some advice to decide whether you should go about registration. So it's not so much about immediately go and file anything It's really about having a business plan actually. Yeah.
Have an end goal in mind and
Yeah.
then see what you can do, what's the next step.
And also to communicate this, frankly, honestly, to the one who wants to advise your IP strategy. Yeah.
I see. So are there any challenges you face as an IP strategist yourself, trying to convey this message to SMEs, telling them the importance of protecting their assets?
I think the most important thing, the most challenging thing for me is that a lot of people think that IP is actually something that is only registrable IP rights.
Oh.
Actually, IP, we want to extend it to something that is more broad. So it's not just registrable IP, it is actually intangible assets that it doesn't show in the account book right now, but in fact, even your branding, your know-how, and all the systems and processes, they are all IP in per se.
Right.
So people, I think companies do not understand this, and they do not understand that they actually have a lot of IP in their company. So they will always say things like, oh, actually IP, we are very physical staff, doing a lot of physical hardware stuff, and we don't have IP or things like this. But they didn't recognize that actually IP is just everywhere in the company. Yeah, so
they don't know how to identify.
Precisely, yeah.
Right. Interesting. So, in this field of IP, being a strategist yourself, it's not common, right? In certain fields like IT, and you're in engineering as well. So it is quite male-dominated in general. So what are some of your challenges as a female IP strategist in a male-dominated field?
I think it's the credibility, for example.
Oh.
Yeah, so some people will think that, especially if you're advising a company that is in the very tech, hardware field, like semiconductor, for example.
Yeah.
So a lot of times the CEO, the founders, or the chief scientists, they will think that, okay, what do you know about my technology? Because I'm sure you won't understand my technology. Okay, but I think it's good for me because I have this engineering background and I've been an engineer myself. So I can prove to them that actually I can understand your technology because I myself have been in this engineering field for many years. But I think it is still a challenge because when they look at you, your whole look, how you present yourself, they might not think that you're technically inclined. So this is really some
to break that barrier, right?
Precisely. But I think one important thing is that I have to read more also because I'm very niche in one specific engineering field. But engineering and in general technology is quite broad, right? So and I come into contact with companies in the biomedical field, in the fintech field, in many other areas that sometimes it's even in e-commerce and in F&B. So actually I have to read up a lot. It's not just about the male-dominating field. It's about any other field also. I have to prove myself that I'm technically capable of understanding what you're doing.
Right.
And I can put the IP landscape into it, IP lens into this. Yeah.
I see. So do you see more male versus female kind of ratio of business owners coming to you? Is there any trend that you saw or findings?
Okay, personally perhaps it's just my encounter. I encounter more males.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I come into contact with a lot of companies, the CEOs, the decision makers,
Yes.
they are all males.
Okay.
Yeah, so sometimes it's quite interesting to have the first touch with them and try to persuade them that okay, I can help you.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Do you think a lot more can be done to bring up more women entrepreneurs into this scene, or is it about education, or do you think that there should be a support system surrounding this to encourage more women into business, into starting their own, whichever line it is, their own business, and to making sure that they patent, their technology or assets or their ideas. What's your take on this?
I think for women, what's most important is the flexibility of work.
Okay.
Because whenever you have for me, family is always the priority. So I'll put family first on top of anything else. So, but if you want to deal with family matters on a daily basis and you want to attend to anything that happen, anytime, you will want to have flexibility in work, understanding from your bosses and from all the people around you, that even your clients, for example, that you need to attend to something urgent, but always follow up immediately after you have settled your family matter. And I think Singapore has been quite helpful
The
it
flexi
encouraging,
arrangement.
it encourages people to work at the same time. More can be done, but I think so far so good.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
I see. So, if not for IP management, what else would you be doing, you think? What is your passion? What other passions do you have?
Well, actually, I believe that I should have passion in anything that I work in.
Okay.
So I think besides, I mean, the first thing that came to mind is that besides IP strategies, this field, I think I would be interested to work as a professor in university because I like to interact with people, and I'm originally an adjunct professor in NUS right now teaching IP. And I really enjoy the interaction with students, advising them on what a career in IP is, and also teaching them on or sharing with them some of the experience that I have when I interact with companies. So I like this human touch in my career. And I think university environment does give me such opportunity. Yeah.
What would be your advice to some of the women leaders or people who want to or aspire to be leaders? What would be some of your advice for them?
I think the most important thing is that you recognize where your strength is and be yourself.
Okay.
So whenever we are doing anything that is second nature to us, I think it's just natural that you will excel. So you know where you are and have a very clear focus and endpoint of where you go and what you can do, and just go for it.
No, just go for it. Just do it. All right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Anna Fong, for sharing with us today. And if you'd like to meet her live, she'll be sharing some of the strategies that you can implement in your business in the areas of IP. So if you'd like to meet her, you can do so on the 26th September at H.E.R Asia Summit. Thank you, and we'll see you there.